everybody out there on White Street. You already know what it is. Salute everybody.
There's no countdown. All right, we're already recording. What's going on, my guy?
I'm good, Doug. How you doing?
Never had a bad day in my life, brother. I'm being joined today by BlackAce. I absolutely had to get this interview popping after the last reaction that I got with him. What I want you to do real quick, for those of you who may not be 100% familiar with this artist, give us the rundown, give us your bio. What do they need to know about you? Who are you? Where you from? What do you stand for? Go.
All right, cool. Basically, I'm going to talk in third person. BlackAce is a Rustenburg born and bred rapper. That's a city out here in South Africa. So primarily a freestyler, but I got familiar with the pen skill as I got older because figured out that having concise thoughts and bringing everything together makes it sound better. Because sometimes freestyles just keep lingering with no point. And also, I'm basically the hustling rapper because everything that I've done has been independent up until this point, and I'm still moving that independent way because I also move cookies, move T-shirts. I move a lot of stuff just to make sure that I can fund the music, to make sure that everything works the way it is. And I'm a dad, so I'm a rap dad. That's a basic nutshell.
Salute to that too, because I want to get into that too. It's something that is reflected beautifully, I think, in the message of the new album that you dropped and the new project that you did. So it's definitely something I wanted to get into. How long total have you been at it?
In total, I've been kicking rap since I was 11, but I only started getting serious with the shit when I think, to be honest, I only started getting serious when my daughter was on the way. That's when I really became serious, because I was like, yo, this is the one thing you're actually good at. So don't just be out there just trying to be a freestyle rapper. Actually create something and make sure that people keep playing this shit to make a legacy, because I wanted to show my kid that any dream is possible. Because before, I kind of took a back seat with it. Even the hustle factor only came in when I knew that my daughter was on the way. I knew that, you know what, you need to actually pick your socks up, because since 2018, October, I haven't had a job, but I've just been hustling and been able to actually do everything I need to do month to month, including looking after my daughter, which is always the first priority. So when that happened, I think I started taking it serious, and actually backing myself from 2018.
That's dope. And that is definitely something, again, I'm going to be reiterating this too. So in the project, that's something that gets repeated throughout. It's definitely a theme. So it's one of those talk about what you live about type scenarios, which obviously is always respected in hip hop. How many projects do you have, including the new one? How many total projects do you have right now?
All right, I have, are we going like all the way back, or when I was serious?
That you want people to look up.
Actually, fuck it, let's go all the way back. So back in 2012 or 2013, actually, I dropped the EP titled The Promo. Was a weak name. It was like, yo, first project. I was like, fuck it, man, say The Promo, because it's some new shit. So that was the first one. It's The Promo. So that's number one. Second one that came out was Trimesters and Semesters. That's the year that my daughter was on the way. So Trimesters was because my baby mama was pregnant and I was still doing school. I was still in varsity. I was still finishing up my honors. So Gotcha. Her trimesters and my semesters. So Trimesters and Semesters, that's number two. Then came therapy. Therapy happened in my very depressive state. Like, man, I used to be an alcoholic. Like, I used to kick the bottle way back, you know what I'm saying? So that was therapy. That's number three. Then number four came Smoking Lights. Smoking Lights is about a different part of my life, a part that is part of the hustle, but you know, it is what it is. And then the fifth one, which is Finding My Feet. So I've had 5 projects.
Okay, that's dope. What's your favorite right now?
I got 2 favorites actually right now.
All right, hit me.
That's Smoking Lights and Finding My Feet, the last 2 that I did, because I think for the first time ever, I actually rap what I've lived and what I live.
On the Finding My Feet? Which is
Finding My Feet and Smoking Lights, because with Smoking Lights, it was dope because it was an EP with no censorship, like no necessary holding back and everything, just writing out every single thing that has happened thus far with the hustle and all of the bad shit and all of the good shit. So it, in a sense, both these projects, as well as Finding My Feet, I wrote Finding My Feet for 2 years because it was a 2-year process. It started in 2019. So from 2019, early 2019, like from January, I was just writing the whole concept out. There were like 40 tracks made, but only 11 made the cut because those were 11. I was like, yo, this shit right here actually tells what's what.
There's a difference too. We talk about this a lot on the channel if you're familiar with the difference between making a playlist and making an album. Like there's a difference between a collection of songs and a cohesive project that's getting a point across. You know what I'm saying? So what's good with these other 29 tracks though? Where they at?
They still there. They still there. We listening to some of them, seeing as you know what actually this is just to get to that actually. One thing I appreciate about your channel, bro, like you don't sugarcoat shit. I even like the fact when you spoke about you were like clean house like a vacuum is a line that you could have done without. That right there, I fuck with that because you were actually being real as a hip hop head because you dissected the whole song. And that's the thing with the other 21 tracks. You listen to this shit and you're like, yeah, it's cool and everything, but is it really groundbreaking? Is gonna make, because even on Come Alive, you were like, out of 5 minutes, there were only 3 lines. You were like, and out of 5 minutes to only have 3 lines that are, that's
I'm critical too. I'm not the average listener. You know what I'm saying? Like I go in when I gotta go in. I will say this though. I was literally blown away with how good it was. Like the first one that I listened to from you, it was cool. And that's how I would define it. Like it was a commercial track. Like it was cool. It did what it needed to do. I could see it being played in the whip and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But it did it. There was no reason for a deep, in-depth breakdown of it. You know what I'm saying? Like it would have served no purpose to do what I did on the second reaction with what we did on the first song. And then as I'm like, and there's something else that came into it too. Like with me getting more familiarized with the hip hop culture in general, whether it's in South Africa or here or whatever the case may be, like us interacting as individuals. If I didn't take the time to get to know you, if you and I didn't chop it up, if I didn't follow on Twitter and see and be able to put those dots together, I would have never been able to make those connections on the song. You know what I'm saying? True. And it's like part of being present with an artist is understanding that under the surface meaning, that's that second tier, you know what I'm saying? For when like there's meaning behind the meaning. And that's one of the things that I loved about it is I literally was blown away with the fact that you had, it felt like there was 2 songs that I was listening to. Like I was listening with one ear. I was listening with one ear and I'm like, I guarantee this is what everybody else hears. And then there's the other ear that I'm listening at and I'm like, if you're following him and you understand him as an artist and the way that he talks and the way that he moves and shit like that, like there's an entirely different meaning to this that's not just like ground level. And that's a lot of what I want to focus on today. Be like, how do you see your personal growth? Like, was that a conscious effort? Like when you make a commercial track, which obviously you're capable of doing with like the first reaction that we did, right? Was it a conscious decision that like when I go to do this next one, that's not what the focus is. The focus on this one is more lyricism, is more in depth. I want to like layer it. Like, what was the thought process there?
You know, to be honest, right? You see, with Finding My Feet, it was different. Like when I wrote that shit, I remember I got one of my close friends. His name is Polo. This dude told me, he's like, "Yo, man, you've been through a lot of crazy shit in life. Why don't you stop trying to flip the dope lyrics? Because yeah, you can kick dope lyrics and whatever. You can make metaphors and whatnot. But up until you speak what you actually live, there's really no relation." So with the, let's go to the outro, that reaction you did. That first line, when I said, "I feel alive when I move weight," everybody who knows me, when they heard that shit, everybody just called me and they were like, "Yo, Doug, listen, that's the first time I ever heard you say something that's actually the fucking truth." Because funny story, actually, there was a time when I was selling my trimesters and semester CDs. I actually got raided because the cops thought that I was moving something.
Right.
But turned out to just be CDs.
See? Spot on with the reaction, my guy.
but back in high school, I can't omit this. Back in high school, I did get busted moving weight.
All right, well, let's not. And
No, just to
this
give you.
this isn't a Vlad interview. Don't say anything that's gonna get you caught up, my guy.
No, that shit is done. Hands is clean as fuck.
Okay,
I'm just
all right,
saying,
cool. Salute.
the context of where the line comes from. No. Hands is clean as fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Good.
Exactly. So it's one of those where you gotta basically. When I wrote that line, I thought about it was one simple line. Even when we did it, right? This was the crazy thing. I think I said it maybe like 5 times when we were recording it, and I couldn't even finish half the verse because as I was rapping, I was like, "Yo, this is some real shit," because you've been on both sides of the coin.
Right.
And when you say that line,
and it's funny because that's where the double meaning starts right from the beginning. So like for those of you who are completely unaware of what we're talking about, let me give a little context, right? So I follow my guy on Twitter and he puts up pictures of like a drug scale, but instead of drugs on there, he's got the hard copies of his CDs talking about moving weight, right? And it's not just one post, it's been like an ongoing theme. Everything else that he was talking about too, like I see him selling cookies and shit like that. I'm about to have my guy airship them Johns over here real quick. But like I see like I seen firsthand what he's about. And like the other things too, like I'm gonna talk, like I'm gonna put your personal businesses on Twitter, so I feel like everything's good, right? Like I see him. There was a tweet I didn't interact with, but I see everything. You know what I'm saying? And you were snapping on these motherfuckers who were taking the filters off of the silhouette challenge. And when I see you like championing women, and I see you standing up for people and shit like that, it gives you that sense that it's not your average, I'm just out here selling dope, disrespecting people type raps. And it really adds to the character and shit like that. And then when you hear you talk about your daughter and you know what I'm saying, and you hear like those things start coming to play, you start to really put the pieces of the puzzle together. And I'm telling you guys, if you go and you listen to this, if you go listen to the album, which I highly encourage that you do, Finding My Feet, and then you go and you do some research and you look at the timeline and you see the way that he interacts with people and the stuff that he chooses to retweet and the stuff that he chooses to talk about and shit like that, you get a different feeling for it. Like it's not surface level music. And I feel like that context is important for this conversation because like you and I know based on what's posted, but I really want those who aren't familiar with you to get a sense of what we're talking about when we say these things, because like, it's not just bars. It's about the shit that you live. A lot of people can say the stuff and not back it up with actions. Like talk is cheap type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So what in your give us a roadmap, right? So I'm brand new. I'm just discovering BlackAce. Give me 5 tracks. What 5 tracks are gonna best paint the picture of what I'm in for with you as an artist?
All right, cool. For the 5 tracks, so the first track is going to be BlackAce. So that's got a video out on YouTube. So BlackAce is honestly like the first track I ever wrote where like there's this, I don't know, the zone. Like, you know, when you hit the zone as an artist, whether you're a rapper, you're a singer, whatever, but there's this zone that you go into when you're writing where it just flows seamlessly. Like there's no glitch and all that. That was BlackAce for me. So there's a track about the journey through everything that I've seen, everything that I've been through and everything. And that, you know, we actually made it through the bullshit. That's track number 1. Track 2 would have to be Love. Love is from Therapy. That's about my daughter. And her mom, basically like the conflict that me and her mom had, and how I grew through that shit, and also understanding that what comes first is being parents and making sure that apart from everything, she grows up with a stable life, understanding that both parents love her no matter what, regardless of whatever. Because at the end of the day, a lot of people could say, I always like just giving you just a quick summary of what the song is. So a lot of times people forget that even with co-parents, you got to make sure that everything is still good because the kid deserves to have a good environment. And sometimes a broken home can be a home where parents are living together with the kid. Doesn't have to necessarily be somebody where they're apart. if there's love in the whole equation, it's not a broken whole. At the end of the day, if there's love and respect, then everything flows properly.
Absolutely.
And then,
I'm in a very similar situation myself. The mother of my child and I don't live together, but 100% my son is being raised, and her son as well, being raised in what I would never consider to be a broken home environment. You know what I'm saying? Like the love is present. Both of us are present. Both of us are accessible. You know what I'm saying? There's no using the kids as weapons or any of that nonsense. You know what I'm saying? So I just want you to know, like you're talking to someone that's on the same page with you. I respect that and I live that, and we're here.
shout out. And then track number three. Track number three. Track number three, I'm gonna say is Keep Going. That's on Smoking Lights.
Okay.
So when Keep Going, it details the hustle, the flip side of everything, like both sides of the coin. It details that, and that, like, regardless of whatever, like I said, that I haven't had a job since 2018, you feel? So apart from that, I've just been hustling. And it's crazy because there's days, dude, where I ain't got no guap on the 25th, like when you get paid. And out of the blue, people hit me up like, yo, let me get a t-shirt, let me get a cookie, whatever. And then shit just all of a sudden comes together. And it's always like, there is a purpose to it. So that's why I may keep going. Like, yo, you got to keep running. Because even when you think it's the 11th hour and nothing's going to happen, out of the blue, Shazam, shit just clicks. And then let's go to number 4. Number 4 is going to have to be Come Alive.
Okay.
Come Alive is yeah. Well, that one I ain't even got to go into it. You already did that.
You guys got make sure you check out the reaction too. Like, subscribe, all that nonsense. You got it's a dope breakdown. It's a dope journey throughout the song. And like I don't like he was right. I don't hype shit up on my channel. I try not to. I try to be very clear. Like BlackAce is an artist that I like and I fuck with as an individual, but is not someone that I have a bias about. Right? Like you would never say that I'm biased towards your music. You know what I'm saying? Like this, you're still very much so an artist that I'm familiarizing myself with. I'm not a BlackAce stan. So for the song to have had that much of an impact and for me to have taken that much time to break it down and enjoyed every second of it, like I'm telling y'all, dig into this album. Pick up Finding My Feet and dig in. Like there's some gems in there, like dead ass. I don't mean to take a shot. Go ahead. Number 5. Go ahead. I'm talking too much.
Number 5 is I'm not on the entire track, but it basically, to be honest, it kind of, that one verse captures everything that I felt the day that I got raided, because it was like, yo, so even when a dude's trying to make money the right way, just because you see cars pulling up at the crib,
right?
And you just see an exchange, you like, that's the dealer. Like, it's like, yo, that's a profile, bro. Like you should have knocked properly and said, what's going on? You should have asked me instead of just running up on you. Because that was the crazy part about that day. So it was about that day and what happened. So all of these tracks is basically situations that I've been through. And also even like with what happened with the raid, it was flashbacks of what happened way back, the other side of the coin. And where you figure out that, yo, at the end of the day, it don't matter. Like nobody gives a fuck. Even the people that are supposed to help and protect and all that bullshit. If you're not making money in an office, they always look at you strange. So at the end of the day, you just got to keep the hustle going.
Facts. I'm with it. What features? Because you said it's not just you on the track. Who are people that you feature often? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the click?
To be honest, I don't really have a click. That's the thing.
Okay.
I've been affiliated with a clique. There's this clique out here in SA, back in Rustenburg. It's called Loreno Fentic. I've been affiliated with them. They had I don't know if to call it a stable or just like a clique, but they had this thing called Feastly Seek. So that's basically rappers from Rustenburg coming together. So did a few tracks with them. And I've done tracks with quite a few rappers from back home. Let's see. Often, you know what's crazy, man? I'm selfish with the raps because I like I, I only have features where literally my producer will tell me, yo, dog, this makes sense. And sometimes I'll be like, what about that track with just me? What about that track? But
On your
you
J.
gotta
Cole
remember.
tip.
Exactly. Exactly. So with the features, honestly, I feature people based on vibe, man. Like on
I had the same
if somebody
conversation
comes
with fucking P.O. in the
exactly,
same exact conversation about like I don't seek out features. It's got to feel right. You know what I'm saying? It got a
exactly.
track's got to speak to me. It's got to make sense. You don't want to force anything.
Because for real, like with me now, I've tried the route of where you try to knock on the door. You like, yo, man, let's put this work in. Sometimes it doesn't work out the way it's supposed to, and other times when you just chill and you spark up a blunt, and the person who you'd like to be on a song happens to be there without you even saying shit.
Just
Because, for
happens.
instance, like, who's this? Luna Florentine. I got a track called 24. Literally, we were chilling, sparking a J, and then we heard a beat that my producer was playing. And then he spat a hook and he was like, hey, man, we should get on this. And we were at an Airbnb because at that weekend I was having a session. And because that shit happened so organically, the track happened
Came
so
out
smoothly.
fire.
Like, and what
That's
came
dope.
out just fire because at the end of the day, it wasn't even a thing of anybody knocking. It was like, yo, man, this is the vibe right now, and this shit is dope.
That's
Let's
dope.
kill it. Because I was even watching, actually, funny enough, when you asked this question, I was checking out this video on this. She's a hip hop, I don't know if I should call her a hip hop influencer, but her Instagram name is I Still Love Her.de, I think. So she had an interview where Pusha T was talking about the process with Pharrell. Like, Pharrell liked having artists in studio because he was able to feed off your energy to tell your story the best way. And if you're not in studio, when you come back, you'd be like, bro, where the fuck were you? Because personally as well, it's like I don't like the whole, yo, send me your verse and then I'll do my verse. I prefer if we're both in studio, we both haven't written.
Okay.
We must both get in there. Unless you're a writer who takes a couple of days. If that's the case, that's all right, man. But when I release my shit, we're gonna have to be together. It's only
So
it's only with
I feel you on that. So who do you feel like? What are do you have any goal collabs? Because
yeah.
this is what I get asked all the time. Everyone's like, "Yo, ask him if he wants to do one with this. Ask him if he wants to do one with that." So like, just for that audience, so I can shut them up, right? What are the goal collabs? Like, what are the dream collabs that you could put together on a project that you would want to jump into?
I dream collabs. Shit. Uh Damn. I think so many names are rushing through.
Give me like four, just off the top.
I know one day I gotta do something with Ginger True.
Mm.
Homie fire.
Chili's dope. I was just talking. He was on I was just on Envy's live, and fucking Chili jumped in there.
Yeah, listen. That man is a monster, you know what I'm saying? And
Shout out to Trill.
secondly,
Shout out to Envy.
secondly, no lie, you see, if I could ever get the chance, it would be dope to actually go on the track with Stogie. That would be some fire shit.
He's all right.
And then number three would have to be a. Well, nah, but I already did this track. Never mind. That already happened. Never mind.
Oh, you
This
double dipping?
Now just remember that the track already happened, so that's a goal that's ticked off. Number three, shit. Number three, I gotta do one with Golden Shovel.
Okay. Okay. I can see that. I think the two of you would sound good on a track too. I got one. I got a track with him and Landmark coming up on the channel soon.
Yeah, yep. I gotta do one with Golden Shovel. Going to number four, right?
Yeah. Last one. Go ahead.
Number four. Hmm. This is crazy.
Yeah, you thought these interviews were easy? Nah.
Thing is, cause like I'm going through the library right now, and I'm picking through like what are the reasons why I want this feature. You know what? Some people might not know him, but fuck it. Number 4 is Mutipa.
Okay. All right. I can see that. He did the sickness, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm familiar with him. He's got definitely more of an old school punchline flow.
Right.
Yeah, I can see that. How about so like for you, from what I've heard of you personally, right? The whether it's like the baritone and the voice or something like that, I feel like a track from you would be really, really well. You could benefit from like having a vocalist do your hooks or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Do you have like an ideal vocalist or someone like that you're just like, yo, if I could get a hook from SZA or something, you know, if I get a hook from somebody, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I got it in the clip already. This is gonna come out.
Uh let's see. Real talk. If I had to get a hook from someone, if I'm gonna give you 2 variants, right?
Okay.
If I had to get a hook from like maybe it's for so like some trap soul shit where it's dark but it's still dope, but it's hip hop and R&B at the same time, I have to go with KLY. And then if I'm just going for the general, you know, feel good vibe and to make people just happy, I'm gonna go with the homie King Sweet Kid. But I already got a track with him, but homie's that crazy on the hooks that
Let's get another one up there.
yeah, nah. Like you should bump. I don't know if you bump track 7
Nah,
down.
I'm not familiar with him at all, actually.
You should actually from my album. You should on Finding My Feet. You should go to track 7 down. He hooked up the hook on that one, and yeah, nah, homie's phenomenal with the hooks.
Yeah,
His
I'll
hook game is crazy.
definitely look into him. All right, cool. So we got that out the way as far as the features, right? I want to talk 2021. All right, we got a lot of months ahead of us. There's a lot of opportunity from the hustler himself, right? What are the goals? What are the plans? You got the project. We're pushing the project already. You and I spoke previously about visuals that were on the way whenever COVID regulations and whatnot, you know what I mean, allow for that. What else do we got cooking for 2021?
2021 right now, I'm working more on the PR side of things. Right now, I'm in the process of actually doing the right mathematics to be able to sort out the PR game. Because what I've noticed is a lot of times when you're independent, you want to put shit out, but at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, what are you putting this shit out for? Because you could have a dope project, but it becomes a dud just because you didn't put it out right.
Didn't get moved, right? I got you.
Exactly. And that happens to a lot of artists. So 2021, I'm focused on finding my feet, even though I dropped it last year, but because I took 2 years to write this project, it's not a project that I'm just going to be like, yo, I'll put that out there. If they fuck with it, they fuck with it. If they don't, they don't. Nah, that's another thing. Sometimes you got to actually like take your destiny in your hands and make something happen. So
Push it. I got you.
that with 2021, I'm focused on visuals, but only for finding my feet. If I get dope features, I'm definitely gonna do that. I'm not gonna say no to a feature. Hell no. Like I got like 500 verses in my phone. I'm certain we can do something. So
You better start gearing some of them up. You know I'm gonna put you on the spot, right? Talk about I got 500 verses ready to go.
I do.
I'll turn this shit into a cipher right now.
So that's 2021 is all about getting the content out there, especially in terms of TV and radio, because the internet is dope, but when we're being honest, once you actually get to the people who don't have access to internet and get to the masses, that's where everything starts to pop off. And I know a lot of people always call the shit selling out and whatnot, but trying to see if it can be done with the real. And oftentimes the real does make it. Then when you get in,
what are you talking? Oh, back up. What are you talking about? What scene is selling out?
a lot of people think the commercial game is selling out, which I never understood.
Like getting paid to do the things you love is selling out?
Yeah, getting signed. Like I've always heard dudes say, "Nah, man, don't get signed."
There's a
But man, I'm
difference,
like,
man.
yeah,
You can get signed, make money, be commercial, and not sell out. Selling out
right.
is just not being true to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Selling out is
Precisely.
saying, I fucking hate drill rap. I hate drill rap. I hate drill rap. And then getting signed and putting out drill rap because the label makes you to. You know what I mean? Like that's selling out. What you sound like you're doing is putting together a marketing strategy, which is 1,000% the direction you should be going. I know, again, 2021 COVID stuff makes the live shit, you know what I mean, a lot harder when you talk about accessing the people without the internet and shit like that. What's the strategy then? Because like you're gonna have a lot of hoops to jump through.
To be honest, I thought about doing events, but I don't want to be a super spreader, man. If I wanted to be a hero, not super spreader, that's not who I'm trying to be. Because if you have an event, people get sick and whatnot. Right. So it's one of those where if I get booked for a performance and you pay me to come through, I'll do it. But it's an in and out thing because, hey, I won't lie, out of just paranoia. Because I had COVID about a month and a half ago or 2 months ago. That's just not fun, bro.
No joke, man. No joke at all. How about like the virtual concerts? I know Touchline's putting out his first virtual concert and stuff like that. You looked into that at all?
Shit. I did actually see a post when he tweeted, I think it was like maybe 3 or 4 days ago. I saw that actually. Now that you're saying that, I should actually look into that because that makes a whole lot of sense. Because right now,
there's viability here, damn it. Hire me as the manager. I got you.
Shout out.
I think that's the digital stuff and shit like that, at least for this year, until you can fully dive in, you know what I'm saying, to the events and shit like that. I think we're gonna see, even if you don't do it yourself, I think we are gonna see more and more artists geared towards the virtual concerts and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. But now I'm gonna get the virtual concert going. You see the logo in the back, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was sitting there. I got a fucking sex doll in the background of mine. I'm like, he's stunting on me right now. He's stunting on me with the logo and shit. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Whatever, man. I'm gonna get up there, relax, baby steps. You know what I'm saying? I'm working on it. That's dope. So, how about I do want to talk more too about finding my feet. I want to stay on the topic a little bit there for that too. When it comes down to the content, right? Your music, in my interpretation, has a lot of positive messages to it, which is not, when you're talking about selling out, it's not something that you get by selling out. You get by selling out by talking about drinking lean and smacking bitches and so on and so forth, right? So for you to go the opposite direction, you know what I'm saying, and try and do it your own way, like, is that part of how let me figure out what I'm trying to say with this. Like, is that what's more important to you, right? Because like, to me, it doesn't feel like a commercial album from what I've heard. It definitely feels like more of the bearing my soul and like, this is who I am type shit. Not, I'm about to get put on and sell out. You know what I'm saying? So like, what's more important to you, I guess, is what I want to get to, because like, I like that shit. You got, I gave you kudos many times on the fucking outro about there being good, positive messages. And I see that you're that type of dude too. Like we talked about, I brought those tweets up on purpose. Like that's not like by accident that I'm mentioning that stuff. Like you seem like a good dude. Like you, that's my interpretation of you. Like you seem like a stand-up individual. Is it important that is that the goal, to make music that's like that? Or is that just so happened to be what that was?
To be honest, I never thought about it till you said it right now, because for me, I was just writing what it was to me. So it was like, yo, this is how I see the world. And yeah, man, like even through the music, it's kind of, for instance, I've tried the whole, once you get into when you're trying to get commercial, you try and do that track that's all about the typical commercial shit, the money, the clothes, whatever, and all that shit. But every time I used to rap those tracks, I hated them because I grew up listening to Nas, Common, grew up listening to Talib Kweli, grew up listening to Mos Def. So my brothers put me onto that shit. And when it became a thing of when I was trying to rap that shit out, it didn't really make sense to me because that's not what I was listening to. That's not what taught me hip hop. So it really didn't resonate with anything. So when I decided to like break those shackles, because yeah, I'm not gonna act like I'm a saint or whatever, but whenever I write now, it's about a real perspective. There's a lot of verses where I've written like a whole verse, then I backspace the whole thing because when I read it, I'm like, the fuck are you saying here?
I got you.
Like you literally just like, because this doesn't seem like it is what it is. So it's better to, for instance, a lot of artists can have a good concept for a song, right? But for you to have a great concept of a song, you actually have to dig. And not dig to be fancy with the words and whatever and all that, but you have to dig to make sure that you actually uncover the real shit. For instance, there's a track there on the album, What You Know. What You Know came from 5 different versions of that one song.
Okay.
Because there's a time I mentioned the homie earlier, Polo. He was like, "Yo, dog, your shit is dope, especially in a freestyle. But don't you think it would be better if you would record shit and keep refining it, keep refining it?" So sometimes what happens with a song is that it's like collecting pieces of truth from each different verse, because every rapper has that moment when they're writing, and then there's a moment of truth that hits within that 16, no matter what it's about, then you connect it. So sometimes it's not necessarily that you do it intentionally. It just comes out because that's who you are.
I got you. I fuck with that. I feel like it's a little gem, dropping a gem for the gentlemen and the ladies at home. How about beef? You got any beef with anybody right now? You seem like a pretty laid back dude.
Nah, man, I ain't got none of that.
None of
I got
that.
some in the refrigerator though.
You got so how about from like the battle scene and stuff like that? You said you're a freestyler. Do you dabble in the battle scene at all?
I did a battle competition last year called One Mic on ACBC1. That's a channel out here. That was pretty cool. I came as the runner up.
Okay.
Yeah, I came second for that.
So
And I did battling back
you
in
got
high
beef then?
school.
Who came first?
Insanely the rapper. I can't even lie. Homie nice with it. Homie nice with it.
Okay. See, man,
Nah, I ain't gonna.
I got the second place interview. What the fuck?
Oh shit! This nigga throwing shots up.
All right. Joining me today, runner up, BlackAce. All right, man. Now, cool. Is that something that you would do? Are you looking to do more of that in the future? Or was that just like a one-off thing?
To be honest, with One Mic, it was about testing my freestyle capability because I didn't write for the whole show.
Okay.
I used to wake up.
Interesting tactic.
Thing is, you know what it was, right? Because in 2018 and like beginning of 2019, I had this competition, like this challenge called the BlackAce Challenge. Wherever you meet me, you can hit me with a word, and I just start rapping.
Okay.
So dudes would actually like they were like vouchers, bro, because they got to a point where dudes were like, this dude is lying. One day I walked out the shop, like the corner store. As I step out, some dude just there with a phone. He was banana. I'm like, what? He's ready with the camera. I'm like, damn, this challenge got me fucked up. But
can't even go grocery shopping.
So it was literally about that I wanted to see where I could push the freestyle limits to. There was one show on One Mic where I tried to write for it, right? And it was weird. I think because I had set the challenge to myself to see how far I can go with the freestyle. When I tried to write for that one show, my first 2 rounds were weak. I won't even lie, because the freestyles and the writtens were fighting in my head, because the freestyles were like, yo, this is our time to shine. And the writtens were trying to shine too. It didn't work. But in the last 3 rounds, when I went back to freestyling, I killed it. And I was like, you know what? This is all I wanted to see, how far I can actually go with just off the dome without writing anything, listening to what the other rapper is saying, making sure that I rebuttal what they're saying. And I won't lie, listen, battle rap artists may not be commercial, but those niggas are skilled.
As a battle rapper myself, I agree with you. But I will say that they're becoming more and more commercial. I think with how monetized the leagues are right now and how much money they're making off the leagues, especially the bigger name ones. I worked, I talk about this a lot. I worked with a league out in Cape Town, actually, Clash MC, just trying to get up and running. Shout out to all of them. And I like the trajectory that the battle scenes are going right now, because as much as they're not commercial artists, they're getting paid a pretty hefty, like the bigger leads. People are talking about getting like upwards of 80 grand a fucking battle. Like that's not chump change. You know what I'm saying? And you do
Exactly.
shit. You do
Like
one fucking battle a year. Like shit.
Like do 80.
So like, yeah, I mean, that's dope. All right, you got bars for us? You might as well just get to it.
Oh, I got bars for you. All right, give me your words, Steve. Let me spit that off the dome. Let me see if I still got it, because I haven't been in the dungeon for a while, but let's go.
All right, let's go. Interview. Hit it.
You see, I spit it off the dome while I'm talking on the interview. Short story, gotta kill it quick. It's an interlude. I've been telling this girl she on the menu. Eat it with a full plate. I gotta get paid in full. Thank God my plate is full. Gotta make sure that I'm grateful. Heard it through the grapevine. They gotta have a great time sipping on that great wine, sipping on that white wine. And I'm just surfing with the sharks, talking about a great white, or rather great black. Can't you tell I'm kicking it back, way back? This a flashback, and they know about it. Get it sparking like the crack. It's an 80s era. Can't you tell I'm coming with the terror? I never ever bite with the gigs though. Got a different flow when I'm sick with it, nicotine. And I wonder how I'm gonna keep fueling up my niggas' dreams. Can't stop. It's an interview with the vampire, got bars for centuries, and you can't be ending me, never with the envy. And I got the money plenty, they trying to end me. I gotta stop now, fuck it, I'ma keep on rolling up until I'm in a Royce or a Bentley, running with the Jaguar Park, killing the apocalypse. They ain't really stopping this, they ain't even stopping shit. Call me on the interview, chilling up with Dr. Phil, cause they all up in their fields, and they know I'm still ill, and I gotta keep it real, and I gotta kill it. Ah, shit, and I
Hey, let's go. All right. For an off the top freestyle, I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. For off the top freestyle, I'm gonna give it to you. All right. I was ready to chew you up too. I was like, let him say vacuum one time. Let him say one vacuum. I'm getting him out of here. Now that's dope though, man. Is there anything that you wanted to go over? Is there anything that you wanted to promote? I know obviously Finding My Feet is definitely the project to push right now. Where's the best place to stream it? Where's the best place to buy it? You know, is it just locally? I know you're pushing physical copies and everything like that. Let's get some promo going. What's going on?
So basically, just firstly, follow me on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? It's at BlackAce_ZA. One word with the BlackAce_ZA. And then when you click on, as soon as you get onto my page, you're going to see the pinned tweet. You're going to hit the smart URL. It's going to take you to the Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, whatever page that you need to go to. But please do play it on Apple or Spotify. That would be very appreciated. And real soon, there's visuals coming. We got hard copies moving. It's a lot of hustle. So just stay tuned to the channel and hit me up on Instagram. If you like cookies, I don't know if I can ship them out to the US because it's food, you know, it's perishables. You never know.
Yeah,
but yeah, if you like
fuck
cookies,
me, right? All right.
Go to my other page. The business page is @_monati. Dikuku means cookies in Setswana. That's the language I speak.
What kind of cookies you push? These are like just chocolate chip.
Cookies,
okay.
Caramel chip, plain cookies, like shortbread cookies, but they dope as fuck, man.
So you got like Thug Scout cookies.
Exactly. Oh, shit.
You can keep that one. You can keep that. That's fucking gold right there.
Thanks, Scout. But yeah, that's what's happening. And hit me on YouTube as well. It's also you can search me as BlackAce underscore ZA. Yeah. On every
Cool.
platform, that's what it is.
Cool.
Finding my feet, remember. Finding my feet.
And then you said not 2021, but when can we expect some new release after Finding My Feet?
Here's the thing, man. I'm like a Russian roulette. You never know where I'm gonna pop off, because it might happen that if by, let's say, I don't know, July, August, something happens, I'm still in the lab. As you can see, you see the studio foam up in there.
Yeah,
I'm still in the lab. So exactly. I'm still in the lab. I see the doll at the back there. Just posted.
Yeah, that's Stephanie GS. She's gang.
But I'm still working on the music, never really stopping. So at this point, man, even when you're not trying to release anything, I think the most important thing as an artist, even if you paint, whatever you do as art, you really have to keep on sharpening your craft, even if you're not gonna display it as yet. So right now I'm still grafting in the studio. So if things turn out nicely sooner than expected, then hey, I might just pull up with a Kamehameha on people.
Let's go. Oh, let me find out. Are you in the anime?
Yeah, dude.
We about to have interview parts. I'm covered in fucking video game and anime fucking tattoos, my guy. You see this shit? I live this. This is what we do. All right, this is gonna affect our relationship though. That's I don't give a fuck who your top 5 rappers are. What's your top 3 anime? Because this is we gonna judge you off this one. I might be telling y'all not to buy no fucking cookies. Hold up, we gotta find out what we hitting for.
Number 1 is Bleach.
All right, come on, keep going. I'll give it to you.
Number 2,
up to the Aizen saga. After the Aizen saga, it's just Aizen might be one of the most badass villains of all time. Period. Like Aizen is that bull.
That shit just it fucked with me. Like they were cutting each other with wind. I was like, this is too much.
Go ahead. What's number 2, man?
Number 2, I don't know. A lot of people may disagree, but Baki for me. You know what I'm saying? Baki was dope.
All right, I'll give you this. The manga, super dope, right? His dad, don't even go there.
hey, that was that. Hey, yeah.
Yo, Ogre is on some other shit, my guy. But I will say that I think the Netflix release was trash, and that was really disappointing for me. They picked it up. They picked up an arc that didn't really have a good storyline build up or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Like you would have to know the other stuff for it to make sense. They just like threw you in the middle of an arc and were like, figure out who people are and shit. I didn't like that.
Okay, that is true. That is true.
All right, number 3, let's go.
Number 3, you know what the answer is, man.
This is gonna be Dragon Ball.
Kakarot.
Let's go. All right, I guys see I got the we got the 6-star Dragon Ball ready to go. Come on, man. You already know what it is. All right, man. This has been SteveBussaGS, BlackAce. Thank you for your time today, my guy. I appreciate you coming to chop it up with me. Not to be understated, too. Let it be known this is the very first Zoom interview on the channel. My guy agreed to come on and kind of like pioneer this type of platform to see if the quality is better. Please leave a comment below if you watched the whole interview and you guys think the quality is a lot better, the sound quality and everything like that compared to some of the previous ones. If we get good feedback on this is going to be the way that we do this going forward. So I appreciate you taking the time to do that with me today, my guy. As always, man, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Let's go. I don't know how to stop recording, so hold on.